What's up, YouTube? It's your boy D Brooksman with another video. Today we are at my buddy Tom's house. We're gonna look at his build. He's got a build he's got going on right now. We're gonna check it out and see some of the projects he's got going on. If y'all remember, we did a video a couple months, maybe last year, showing Tom's Camaro. So this is just kind of like a part 2. Stay tuned. Wow. Frame is clean.
Yeah, been working on it.
Yeah.
A lot.
A lot.
Yeah, I'm filthy dirty. But it's come out pretty good so far. I need to probably a good final wipe down and paint. And then I can start fitting the motor in.
What we got there? Brake lines?
Yeah. Yeah, the guy put those in.
Let me get out your way here.
Here, I'll give it a wipe.
Okay. Wow, so it's got...
It's the original brake lines coming up.
Wow.
Yeah, the guy bought it from me. Replaced that line with copper, so it all gets redone.
Yeah? You don't like the copper stuff?
Well, he had it all wonky.
Oh, just kind of went from here to there when it probably should have been under.
Yeah, it should have been down and up and nice. And then, the stock fuel line is here still. Okay. I've got 13 gallons of gas out of this truck so far.
Wow.
just vacuum. It starts flowing on its own. So.
13 gallons of gas.
Yeah.
Sheesh. So, all right. I know you said you were doing an LS swap.
Yep.
You said you're doing an LS swap into this truck right here. You're doing an LS swap in this truck, and the goal is, what's the goal now?
$500.
$500. You said that in the last video when we looked at the Camaro.
Yep.
You guys remember the Camaro video? You said he could do one for $500. So explain.
I've got my price list up here. I don't think I've missed anything.
All right.
So I started with 500.
Okay.
I sold the motor for 100. I sold the trans and torque converter for 100, and I sold the rear end for 50. So it gave me a $750 budget.
Okay, so yeah, net 500.
Right.
Okay, that's a better explanation there. Net 500.
So now I've bought new gauges to add the tack, pick and pull, $40. Radiator from a 4.3 truck from pick and pull. My upper control arm bushings is like $35, and I got to buy the other set. I've only got one set done.
Okay.
So it nets me $635. And then I was rebuilding the lower control arms, and I found on Facebook Marketplace a guy in northern Columbus here had a set brand new for $60. So I bought those, and then the front ABS sensors for $15 from pick and pull. I'm at $560.
Not bad at all. So, and here, this is all stuff that you sold out of the truck.
Yeah, off the truck.
Okay.
Yeah. And I've scrapped some other stuff and, got $5, $10, but overall, that's where I'm at.
Nice. So how much do you have invested in the engine? Well, you do your own harness. You did a rework.
Yeah, I do my own harness and rework.
Yeah.
The engine was, well, I got choices now. What I ended up with was this 6-liter here on a trade. So it's free.
Okay.
So it's a stock 6-liter. I'm contemplating just putting that in. But I've got a short block built back there, and I got heads and everything to put back on as well. So again, that will be probably less than $100 to finish that.
Okay, it's already here, so
yeah, it's already here.
Anything.
Right.
With all the parts and stuff you have just over time.
Right.
But yeah, all the parts that you have accumulated over, just have wheeling and dealing.
Yeah.
You can just go.
Yeah, that was trade for harness.
Wow.
I reworked the guy's harness and he gave me that.
You can't beat that. Is that iron head or?
Yeah, it's an iron head, 120-some thousand miles.
Okay.
Had to get the studs out. Got that all done, but other than that, it turns over by hand real well. So it maybe the motor's going in here, maybe not.
Old Gen 3, pretty simple.
Yep, simple. It's still going to make what, 300, 350 is what those things made.
Yep.
And in this thing, it'll be plenty of power. I've been working on body work in this. When I took the inner fenders off, I found a hole in this floor. And when I took this fender off, I found a hole in this floor. I just finished this one this morning down here.
Okay. Can't see it too much.
Right there where the clean paint is.
Oh, right here, yeah.
Yep. So I put that in this morning.
Okay.
And then I did this side over here. It was much bigger on this side. So I fixed that. So as far as that's done, I'm ready to clean and paint.
Okay.
I got to clean this trans tunnel
Okay.
up under there.
So what did you do? Just hit it with a wire brush right here?
Wire brush, brake clean, and WD-40.
And then you're going to undercoat it again?
Yep. I'm not going to paint. I'm probably going to use a GM chassis paint.
Okay.
And which comes out, it's not too bad a color. Rust-Oleum is the other alternative, and I might do Rust-Oleum. But rebuilding the control arms, I've got those in the back. I'll show you how they start out.
What about your steering?
The steering box, everybody says in the S10 you got to change the steering shaft to get an LS in. Well, I listened to that, and I've got a Jeep in stock steering shaft, and I went to take it apart, and since this has ABS and an airbag, this steering shaft is totally different from what I've seen anybody on eBay, or not eBay, on YouTube. So I nixed that idea, and it looks thinner as it is. I'm going to put it in, and I'm going to wait to see what I have to do. But the unique thing, this is the shaft for collapse. This this goes in this part of the shaft, and unique to it, when I unbolted the 3 bolts that hold it on, it fell out.
Wow.
So I'm going, It was heavy, laying on my toe.
Oh, wow.
but
slid right on out of there.
It slid right on out, so I didn't have to fight it. And then, you know, I'll get all this stuff cleaned and get a nice little coat of paint on it. I don't like working on my hobby cars and get filthy dirty, so I try to clean them before I get all done.
Makes sense. I wish I would have thought about that when I built my Regal.
Yeah.
I just kind of started. The goal was just to throw it in, but
yeah,
you know how that goes. So
yeah, I hear that. And I wish the backtrack was. I wish I had taken it and rolled it out and used a power washer on it.
Okay.
But you can see dust all over the car and everything, and so the garage is awful dusty because of it.
Yeah, with sand.
It is what it is. So.
Yeah.
But I'll show you the control arms. Is I got to fix that. Where I've got a guy again on Marketplace that's got one of these inner fenders.
Okay.
So hopefully it's a $20 deal.
Yeah.
And then I can just replace it.
Yep.
Otherwise I got to fix that.
Well, it shouldn't be too hard. It's real thin, looks like.
Yeah, it's real thin. It's really just patch this up, and they put 2 layers. And that's why it rusted. The water got in between the 2 layers.
Yeah.
And it just rusted out. That's a bolt that bolts up. So there's a hole right here.
Oh, gotcha.
So that the hardest thing would be lining that hole up.
Is it going to be a sleeper with the factory alloys on it, or?
Yeah, I've got quiet mufflers and
Yeah.
the alloy wheels. It's going to be. The wife wants to drive it. I'm going to put air conditioning back in it.
Ooh, it'll be tame and nice.
So before, after.
Wow.
This is what they look like when you take them off. You clean them, wire brush, paint, put new bushings in, and you're set. Everybody wants to buy new. Yeah, buy new if you don't have the tools. It's not too hard to get these out. Putting the lower ball joint in was tough. So when I found those, I went and bought those. That was a deal.
Yeah, and those are brand new, huh?
Mm-hmm. Brand spanking new with the bushings and ball joints in them already.
Those are the S10 spindles that everybody in the G-body world wants.
Yeah.
And I'm in the G-body world.
Yeah, that's the S10 spindle, so
yep.
That's the one.
Jeez.
And I was hoping to clean shocks, paint, put back on. The passenger side came out okay. The driver's side didn't. I had to end up cutting it, so I got to buy shocks. Cost it. I didn't.
But this is all over and beyond. You didn't have to do.
I didn't have to do any of that.
Right. You would have been in the swap way cheaper.
Yeah. If I would have just put a motor in, and tranny, I'd have been right in there like Flint.
Because this is like, hey, this is my quality of life. Working on my car, not getting dirty type stuff.
Yep. So and I'm hopefully gonna be a showpiece when I get done. Show off the harness, you know, for an S10.
Yeah, it's so clean. You know, we didn't talk about how clean it is. Like, we're in Ohio, so it's hard to find anything without the corners being completely gone and
right.
You know, the frame being broken or in half already.
Yeah, and that's one cost that I put in it because I put in power, and I'm probably going to go turbo. That's an all new rear end. I had went over to Mosier.
Yeah.
I had a rear end built, axles built, all new brakes, all new posi, new brake lines.
It's already in?
It's all in.
Okay, so that's also extra stuff that you didn't have to do, but it was just an option.
Right. So I put it back on, had the drum brakes back on, and even I wasn't going to upgrade the disc. Yeah, I got a 9-second Camaro. I got rear drums on it. Yes, I probably should upgrade the disc, but again, that's a cost and a feature that, especially for this, that I don't need.
Right. Because even like the guys in the G-body community, we're doing good to just get the spindles off of here and the rotors on the front.
Yeah.
So we're like excited about that, and then we don't. A lot of times, don't even touch the rear.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so.
Yeah, getting them off. I mean, I don't know if you've taken these off or beat them through to get them off. Is when they go on. Some guys and years ago, I had a guy at the shop at our office was talking to me, and he says, "Man, I took those off, and I couldn't take it off real well." I was asking what he was doing, but when you take these off, they're on the car like this, but this goes in here like that. Okay.
Okay.
And you got your nut on here, and your cotter pin. You've taken your cotter pin out, and you got your nut loose, and you've ran your nut down, and the guys take the nut off. No, no, no. Don't take the nut off, because it's under spring compression. It's got stored kinetic energy in there. You hit it with a hammer. Hit it with a hammer here, and it'll pop it free. This thing will be pushed down, and then you'll see it. It'll just pop, and then come off. But you got to keep your nut on there, otherwise that could come down, and that spring could come out and whack you.
Yeah, that's bad.
And that's bad news. So I tried to keep the shock on there, loosen the shock clear to the top, loosen this down to here, loosen the bottom. Same thing the bottom. Loosen it up, keep your nut on it, and then hit it with a hammer. And it'll come free. And then after that, use a jack and lower it, and it'll come right out.
So, you know, a little side note here, but we're at Tom's place, so I'm going to ask him a question about his Camaro. So when I was here, I looked at your car. I was really inspired. I just recently bought Hooker manifolds.
Oh, nice. That's what I got in there.
So yeah, that was like one of the things I noticed. You had those. I want to get a good look at your mid pipe to your flange, because I gotta recreate that. I have it on. I have my manifold on now, but I'm just interested in seeing different ways people built that mid pipe.
I use the Hooker crossover and the 2 manifolds.
Okay. All right.
I did a couple no prep races this last fall.
No prep racing. So you just came out 90. See, my radiator hose, that's what you went with a straight radiator. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we just came out. We changed that. That's from Jags. It's like $30.
Okay.
So you can get that, and then you can get the angled ones that rotate or straight. So it just came out straight, and it clears everything in.
Oh, and then you got a 90 on that too. That's nice.
Yeah.
So you have an actual aluminum radiator. So you can weld to it. Mine is plastic, but.
Oh yeah.
So I might have to just put I don't know what I'm gonna have to do, but I like that 90 came out, and that made it super simple.
Yeah.
Wastegate right there. Is it just open dump, or is it?
Yeah, wastegate go down, open up straight down to the ground right there.
Wow.
Yeah, I took it out and did okay. I mean, it's not. I'm out of turbo.
You're out of turbo. What turbo is this?
An on 3.
On 3.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We're gonna go to a bigger one.
Bigger one, and it's already in, under 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Under 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Wow. Question for you. A lot of guys are telling me I should coat the manifolds. Do you think it's worth it, or does it make a difference?
Those were painted.
Those are painted?
Yeah, burn off.
So.
And if you wrap them, they're going to rust.
So really, just leave them.
Yeah, it's personal preference if you're going to drive it. I mean, you can probably send it out to HPC or someplace and get ceramic coating on them, but I drive them, I use them, I just keep track of them, and they're hobby cars. I try to keep them clean and stuff.
I like this touch right here for the vacuum and the boost.
Yeah, I had that messed up, and it left on a lot more boost, and I tore the torque converter out of it.
Jeez.
And left on 27 pounds of boost, and it didn't like that.
It's a lot of power.
Yeah, it didn't take the transmission out. I just took the torque converter out and borrowed a torque converter in it and put it in it, and did a couple races. Did okay.
It's a 2-speed?
No, it's a turbo 350 I built.
Oh, 350. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Nice, man. I mean, I like this build. This is a very inspiring build.
This.
You have any support for your turbo, or is it?
Yeah, there's a flange that's you can kind of see it over here. That's welded to the frame. You've got to support the weight of that. So it's from Monkey Fab. There's a T4 flange frame. It's almost a 1/2 inch thick.
Oh, okay, right in between it's like a sandwich plate.
Yeah, so the turbo's on this side, and this plate that you're seeing, that's actually what's welded down to the frame, and the motor's rigid, like at solid motor mounts. So if you're doing it and you don't have a solid motor mount, you need to mount it something attached to the motor.
If not, you'll rip.
The weight of them, they're heavy.
Okay.
I've seen guys be able to put it right on the manifold, but it's probably a smaller turbo. That turbo's pretty heavy.
Yeah.
Plus, I'm going to go to a bigger one. So.
Wow. That's the cool thing is you can put any flange on there. You can put T6 flange or whatever you want.
Yeah, when we mocked this up, we mocked it up with an 88.
Okay.
So that's what we're putting back on it.
Wow. Very cool, man. I will use all stainless for that.
It's all stainless.
Yeah.
Stainless exhaust. And then the crossover is whatever Holly did. And it's just mild steel, I believe.
It was simple.
Yeah. Boom, done.
You didn't have to dick around with it forever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very nice, man. I can't wait to. My car. How long have I been working on my car? Like 5 years, I feel like.
Right. I don't blame you there. I mean, it takes a while to get them done. Actually, I mean, if you put yourself on a timeline, if you timeline it, if you have all the budget set in here, your timeline is shorter. But if you're earning the budget and your timeline, it's going to take a while.
Yeah.
You know, COVID came along, slowed my business way down. Didn't really hurt me that much, but it slowed down. I mean, literally, I haven't had a harness since August. But I keep busy with this, and this was a winter project to begin with.
Right.
So I'm in my timeline for this is drive it out of here in the spring.
Okay. You feel like you're on track still?
Yeah, because the biggest thing was getting the frame clean and the front suspension all rebuilt. I get that finished up. You know, I've got a complete motor that I can put in there.
Yeah, top to bottom. Yeah, intake, everything already on it. You don't even have to open it up, really, if you don't want to.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Man, but can you see yourself just putting it in without opening it up?
No, I see myself finishing my short block.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I got the heads over there. I need to port them a little bit if I want. And, there's a lot. I mean, there's a day of work in those control arms. Yeah, for $37 you can buy them from Rock Auto. But the satisfaction of that is I spent $37 of that budget.
Yeah, that's true.
I have more time than money,
Hey, I think I'm in that same boat. I
mean, I got to buy another wire brush, but I use that wire brush for everything out here. We're not just car stuff, so
Yeah.
that's not an expense to me. That's the consumable.
Right. Yeah, I'm in the same boat with you on, like, so guys, you know, on my 5.3, I bought the engine from Tom.
Yeah.
It's the aluminum 5.3. I bought it from Tom. I put it in, put a cam in, DOD deleted it, did all that. And now we're going boost, and I didn't gap the rings.
Yeah.
So I'm like, do I peel it back out again and gap the rings, or do we just send it?
That's a damn good question. I mean, with 100,000+ miles on those rings, they probably self-gapped.
By now we should be.
Yeah.
Okay.
But depending on how much boost you plan on running it, you should gap, you know. I go down track with 18 pounds of boost. 18 pounds of boost. I've gapped those rings, but
Yeah.
I put 27 pounds of boost to that motor and didn't hurt it. So I know I can put more boost to it on a pass instead of accident.
But you've gapped
I've gapped the rings.
So you have that safety net.
Yeah.
You have that safety net.
And I'm an E85, which is a big help.
Mm.
So there's a lot of things that help. But when you're doing boost, yeah, you keep it under 15 pounds of boost, or right at 15 pounds of boost, and a truck motor, and go for it.
Right.
Especially the 100,000+, 150,000, 200,000 mile motor, it's self-gapped.
Yeah. So maybe we'll send it. I have enough little 4.8s and 5. I'm almost like Tom Jr. with all these engines.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got a few of them here.
Yeah.
It's probably in all of them.
4, 5. I got 6.
Wow. So, yeah. I mean, we're not trying to blow them up, but if you forget to gap the rings on one, it's not the end of the world.
Well, that's what it is when we went to the no prep this fall. We took this car totally untested. I blew the torque converter out, borrowed a torque converter, put it out. It was in pieces laying on the garage floor on Thursday. Friday, put it all together and drove it out of the garage. Starter went out, I put a starter in it, and the farthest this thing is first gear into the trailer. I didn't know if the transmission had all 3 gears or not, or even if it had reverse.
Wow.
So we went out there, took it off the trailer, and lined it up and took off. So,
Jeez.
yeah, won first round. So
Hey.
it's fast, but not quite fast enough to go next couple rounds.
Wow. Very cool. Very cool. But yeah, man, you got some cool stuff here, and I think it was torn apart when we did the first video. Was that after the accident or before the accident?
Yeah, that was probably after the accident.
Yeah.
Still had it apart, and you know, I've just slapped a bumper on there that needs to get addressed a little bit. But you know, I'm the kind of guy. Flashy is nice. I love that stuff, and that's the thing. That's not my thing, and never has been. I like to go and enjoy it and have fun with my cars. I have a blast every time I drive that. I'm hoping to build this blast and get the wife to drive it.
Okay.
And she's driven some of the hot rods before. She's never driven this one because it's got a cage.
Okay.
So I'm hoping to not cage this one, been getting her out there and maybe make a 12-second pass.
Okay. So it'll be all motor then?
It'll be all motor for initial.
Okay. Cool. You think you'll go with the hooker setup again? With that
I've got manifolds, and I got some manifolds in here, and I've got some Camaro ones that I might be able to put down in there.
Okay, make something work.
And make it work.
Okay.
I've seen some cheap headers on eBay for like $80, $90
The S10.
for S10, and I go, well, that's not too bad. I know a guy's using them, so when I get that motor down in there in the next couple of weeks, I'm gonna know.
Okay, cool. We'll have to do a follow-up on that too, guys, because we have to see what it looks like at the end and what the final budget is. But right now it's kind of like, I don't know, like a checkpoint.
Yeah.
We're at a checkpoint right now, so yeah.
Yeah, I got $500 left, and I got $150 for a fuel pump because I'm gonna do a Hellcat fuel pump. They do E85, and they'll support 800 horsepower in tank. So
Proven.
Proven. So I'm going, put that in, wire it correctly. Then I'm set for that. I think the sending unit on this is bad because I've taken 13 gallons out of it and it says it's empty. So
Yeah.
so that's bad. But once I've done that and get the fuel lines in, I got to rebuild the transmission. I got to finish the motor.
What trans you going with?
I'm still on the fence, but I've got a 4L60 that I'm just going to put some good stuff in and do that. I was just looking on Road 52, and there's a 2-wheel drive Suburban. There's a couple 2-wheel drives up there. That's a 4-wheel drive one.
Okay.
So I may go look. How I buy that kind of stuff is if the vehicle is wrecked, then I know it was driving.
Right.
But if it's not wrecked, then it might have been because it's in. That's why it's in there.
Right.
So I look for wrecked ones versus rusted ones.
Okay.
For an engine or a transmission, I look for a wreck.
Mm.
Because you know it was moving when something happened.
Makes sense. Yep. So with this one being a 4-wheel drive one, if you use this, is this a 4-wheel?
No, it's a 2-wheel drive.
So you have to change the...
Yeah, output shaft. You have to get an output shaft and tail housing.
Okay.
Which I'm gonna tear it down, put clutches in it anyway. That's a transmission that I have no idea what's wrong with it. I had to buy 2 transmissions to get 1 case.
Okay.
I used the other one. That's what's left. So I have no idea if it's a good transmission or a bad transmission.
But you're pulling it apart anyway.
I'm gonna take it apart anyway. It didn't matter to me.
So yeah, it's a core.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I have a 460 at the shop right now. I might be getting rid of. So
2-wheel drive?
No, just 4-wheel drive. Yeah. But yeah, you're pulling it apart anyways, though. So.
Yeah, that's why it doesn't matter to me to get the tail shaft and the housing is $70.
Mm-hmm.
I can go to the junker and get a whole transmission for like $150.
Yeah.
And I'm going, then I'd have another core. But if you get them out of the right year, you can get a 4L65 versus a 4L60, which has the 5-pinion planetary. So I'm trying to find the year crossover and how to find out through the serial number.
Okay.
Because I'd hate to buy one thinking it was a 4L65 and still just get a 4L60 when I've got one sitting here.
Right.
For that $150, I can probably buy everything I need to put that back together.
Yeah, because it's super common.
Yeah.
It's the most common.
Yeah.
Besides the TH350.
Yeah.
Well, so unless we find something else we want to show you guys, this is the conclusion of the video. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned till next time, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, right?
Right. You get them all.
Are you going to do a channel? Or?
Man, it's just I keep thinking about it,
yeah.
But I don't know. It seems like an awful lot of work.
It can't be more work than what you're doing in here.
Yeah.
It's just more to the workload.
Yeah. I have thought about it greatly, and I thought about doing this, and my daughter even volunteered to be the cameraman, camera woman, and I'm going, yeah, but then we got to edit, and
I
kind of like keep it low key.
We can keep it. We can get through that.
Yeah, I'm a low key guy. I don't want to. I like doing stuff and helping people.
Okay.
YouTube is a way to help because I see some stuff on there that's just not right.
Yeah. Well, guys, stay tuned. We'll let you know. Peace.